Art said, I used to call him Shart all the time. But honestly, at 50, that kind of makes sense as a nickname because I realized at a certain age, farts are no longer safe. And it's just not worth risking them anymore. The older you get, if you think it's just a fart, just hold it. Because the one you think is safe is the reason you're going to end up being called Shart. No, I started doing comedy out here. My father really encouraged me to start doing some comedy. And I bet you some of you guys know who my dad is. He's normally here, but the playoffs just ended and he's a little sad. So he's at home licking his wounds. But how many of you guys go to like the rec center for ice hockey or anything like that? How many of you guys go to the ice at Davis Street during the winter? That's my dad. The one on the Zamboni. You'd think that popularity would get me something? All it does is get me snitched off if I do something wrong in public. I'm 50 and he'll still get a phone call that I did something wrong. Yeah, exactly. You know his name. That's my dad. I am a disabled vet. I was in the Navy, so thanks to that and my childhood, I have complex compound PTSD, which means I have an amazing personalities. My boyfriend never knows who he's coming home to. I don't worry about him cheating or straying or getting bored because, he may walk into like this loving, supportive, how was your day? But then 15 minutes later, it's why are you still on your phone? When are you gonna talk to me? So he never really gets bored. I'm also quite entertaining because I moved around a lot as a child. So I have a lot of education gaps. Like my education's in the South. So if you think Wyoming's education is bad, no. And every school year we moved, so like I never did the same grade in the same school. And that caused me to grow up with slight attitude problems because nobody could threaten me with, you're gonna develop a bad reputation in the school. Because I knew for a fact, I'm leaving this summer. So needless to say, I was in the principal's office a lot. And in Texas, they have something called the Board of Education in the principal's office. Yeah, that was used on me frequently. And back then they would call to get your parents' consent to beat you before they beat you. And I was in there so much, I actually thought like he had some direct line to my mom, because he'd just sit me down and go, well, you know why you're here, right? And I'm like, yeah, my mouth. He's like, well, we're gonna call your mom. All that man did was pick up the phone and there she fucking was. It's different back then. A lot of you guys know modern stuff like that, but back then there was like hold buttons and all these different lights on the phone that you couldn't understand. I didn't comprehend that my mom was on hold. I actually thought it was a direct fucking lie. And then he'd spank me, and then I'd go home and she'd spank me. And you'd think that'd work, but no. All it did was get me to be an adult woman who likes to be spanked. I do live with my dad right now. He's getting older, but he's still healthy. But sometimes you have to step up and do certain things. I call myself basically, I'm kind of like a glorified housekeeper / secretary. And I do something I call senior translation, which basically means every time he's on the phone, I just repeat whatever the person on the phone said to him so he can answer their question. I do it in public a lot as well because half the time, even with his hearing aids, he can't hear shit because it's tuned into his Bluetooth on his phone, and that's what the fuck he's listening to. After the Navy, I did have kids. Oh, wait, let me back up to boot camp. There's been a lot of gay jokes tonight, so I have a boot camp story for you. Now, as you can tell, I'm short. I'm 4'10" and 3/4 inches. And that 3/4 is very fucking important at my height. Growing up, 4'8" was a midget, and Pluto was still a planet. Now Pluto's not a planet, and 4'10" is a midget. So without that 3/4, with all the other trauma I have to deal with the fact that I'm dating a midget fucker. But 5'2" is what you gotta be to be in the military. So they gave me a height waiver. Now at my height, I'm what you call boob height. And in the shower, there's 86 girls showering at once. For those trying to do the math, that's 172 titties. Yeah! I can't look up. That's waterboarding. I can't look down. That's reverse waterboarding with shampoo. I may have went in boot camp straight, but I might have left a little curved. I also learned a lot of amazing acronyms. CYA, cover your ass. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Most trouble, which men seem to adore. Cunt. Can't understand normal thinking. It's a non-binary term. After the Navy, I did the whole mom thing, PTO, den leader, all of that, until a mom found out I used to be a stripper. And yeah, I did that after the Navy. I left that part out. I was a stripper for like 2.5 years, because why not? You're in San Diego. There's nothing else to do. But apparently one of the moms found out I used to be an exotic dancer. And apparently that made me immoral and shouldn't be near little boys. And I was like, fuck you, I was a stripper, not a priest, calm down. I volunteered in the classroom and everything like that. That was a lot of fun. Only time it was really a problem was when I was walking down the hallway. If a teacher saw me from behind, they would stop me and ask me for my hall pass. And I would have to ask them if my driver's license would work. By volunteering in the 3rd grade, I realized there's something missing off that supply list. Booze. We need to be giving these teachers booze. And it shouldn't depend upon your child's grade, like academically. It should be based upon their behavior. Because we all know the straight A students are the ones that make you want to drink. Well, that's my time, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.